G'day friends, welcome back to Valheim. Hope you guys are doing well. We're stood here in the new section of our kitchen, and in the previous episode we had spent quite a bit of time beginning the process of upgrading the kitchen space, and things seem to be going pretty well. I'm pretty satisfied with what I'm seeing at the moment, though I think the biggest challenge is still in front of us, which is dealing with the ceiling and what to do with some of these Grouston pillars. So without further ado, let's actually start by moving all of our stuff and sorting out our inventory. I do have a lot of things on me at the moment. Maybe it would be a good idea for us to just let go of some of this stuff temporarily, and we can obviously come back to all of that later. Might also be a decent move to just have a sleep initially, just so that we've got a little bit more light to work with when we eventually start building stuff. Yeah, it's nice that we can still get quite a bit of heat from here as well. I suppose, you know, most of our fireplaces are all sort of within range, and this building isn't exactly as big as one might think. It is quite vertical, though. But yeah, if I redid the playthrough again, I think I would have given myself a lot more space to work with. And I think perhaps, I'm just trying to recall here of what decisions I made when we first started building in this place, but perhaps maybe I was sort of the thought that I could potentially move a second time. I think this is the only second time that we've moved, right? So I was thinking perhaps maybe we could move to a different site and, you know, do even bigger builds, but that never really happened. And you know what? I'm pretty satisfied with the home that I've built so far, and I don't think I really want to move again and start everything from scratch once more. Right, so that's one. Let's get rid of that, and let's again just use the hallway temporarily here to store all of our goods. So let's chuck that there, and apparently I'm carrying too much. Okay, yeah, I guess all of this stuff does actually weigh quite a bit. I'm not sure if I'll even be able to carry this with favour. Yeah, even fader's not going to help us here. Yeah, okay, so it's the bone maw meat that's really weighing us down. So we've got 5 minutes of fader. I'm hoping to just get the stuff moved within that 5 minutes. So I'm gonna try and be quick about it. Right, so that's everything I think, so let's move on to the lower chests. I think we should be able to carry all of this without really too much of an issue, right? Okay, perfect. And we still have another 3 minutes here. And I just really want to try and rush through, like grabbing all of this stuff and moving things around. Oh, that's our limit. Ideally, I would like to group all of the potions together and, you know, some of the foods together as well, but I probably won't worry about that for now, since, you know, we are going to have to move things around again anyway, so yeah, shouldn't really be a problem. Just leaving things the way they are. This bespoke piece of furniture has to go. Okay, perfect. So, really, the thing that we need to figure out is, do we keep this Growston in the middle, or do we get rid of it? It's time for another meal, I think. Let's just quickly grab, I think something for stamina would be maybe the best. And we can grab another Ashlands gourmet bowl in a second. So I'm just trying to figure out whether or not the Growston has a purpose for coming all the way up. And if not, then obviously we can get rid of it. I think we might need to remove these, to be honest, and we'll actually put in just a 1x1 up the top here. I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and we probably will need, like, a staircase of some kind leading out. I just realized, though, that we've got, like, a curved situation here. Perhaps maybe the opening should really just be the length of one of the floor pieces, which... yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Which means I'll need to add a bit more stone. Again, we'll come back to that, because I'm really trying to resolve whether or not I need this Growston in the center. So, maybe the best way to judge is having a look at the strategy room. And I think the Growston really just comes up here, right? But then it ends and it doesn't really join back up. So I think it's safe to actually remove. Hopefully the floor actually stays and doesn't just simply crumble down as a result. Alright, good, and I think everything is holding up top, but I just want to double check that we haven't accidentally destroyed anything. Yeah, things look good. So we've got a little bit of spare grouse in here for whatever we might need. I also want to remove this one. I don't think this will serve any purpose. Great. And the floor is still holding, which is good. So now we need to decide what we want to do with the grouston that we are keeping, and whether or not we want to decorate a little bit with it, like perhaps maybe considering what we have on this side, we could do a similar aesthetic. And also we've got something like that going on up top in the strategy room as well, right? So we've got something like that going. So we could design something similar. And I guess really we should be just playing around with it and seeing what we can come up with. So let's go ahead and do that. It might not be a bad idea to, I don't know. I was sort of thinking of placing it there, but it looks like it's poking out the top, so that's probably not a look that we want. But I like the idea of having a bit more of a grander, wider space for the dining table. But yeah, aesthetically speaking, we do need to just make sure that it doesn't interfere with anything else, so that looks good. Just need to join things up. We probably don't have enough grouston for this, but we can always grab some more grouston. That's not an issue. And I should have that meal, actually, because I have a feeling in this episode we're probably going to need to move around the dining table. Okay, so that doesn't look too bad, but I'm also sort of thinking I would love to be able to, like, actually wall things up without it making, sorry, without things looking too weird, that is. I wonder if I should maybe put, like, wood up here instead of, like, stone. Or alternatively, I don't even need to put anything at all. That's also an option. It just looks a little weird if there's a gap. Or I can remove it completely and not even worry. I don't think that's the play, though. I'm just looking at the space that we have. Yeah, let me experiment with some wood, and we'll see how we feel about using wood to create like a wall above this arch. We still have a little gap there. That's not really that good, is it? I wonder if we can fit that in somehow. Yeah, like that. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. But then, yeah, we just need to get these pieces sort of following along. That actually doesn't look half bad. I really don't like the stone clipping through here, and I'm wondering if there is a way we can prevent that from happening. Like, I was sort of thinking I could add additional floor pieces, like doubling up the floor pieces over here to just cover it up, but perhaps maybe there's another way. Maybe we can just simply freeform the last few pieces that are touching the floor on this side, and maybe that's going to be sufficient. Things might start crumbling down though if we did that. Sorry, again, I'm getting distracted here. Do I want to do something different? Rouston wall 2x2. 1x2. Possibly. Maybe. Maybe. Let me just experiment with one corner and see whether or not the Grouston walls, like the smooth Grouston walls, make sense. Oh, we could do an arch. I think the arch might actually fit this, this section a little bit better. Could be a good use case for the arch. Getting it into the right position is a bit of a challenge though. Is that the right spot? I'm not sure. That is the right spot. So there you go. So that's what it would look like. Let's just quickly get this back in position. And yeah, so we start using like the smoother pieces. These are huge though. 2x2, 4x2. Why is there no 2x1? Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is probably not the play. I mean, ideally, this is what I would like to use, so we would be able to, as you know, but it's sort of not in the right orientation, though. Yeah, that's frustrating. Just trying to think of whether or not there's anything else worth using. But again, I think we've established that stone walls are probably not the best for this situation. Though it doesn't mean that we can't try using the stone walls. So that's where it sort of needs to go. The concern that I have with the stone walls, though, is it'll probably be poking out of the floor on the second floor. And yeah, I mean, blocking things that way doesn't seem like a good idea. Maybe I can use a arch piece. Yeah, that doesn't even make sense. Yeah, and we're getting that aesthetic that we don't like, so I think I'm going to settle for the wood. I was thinking about whether or not I wanted to test ash wood. But I think it would look a little weird if we had ash wood in here, because we don't really use ash wood very much in any part of the build, really. Yeah, I really don't like this fog. Makes things a little harder to see. I think that's what we're looking for? No. Where the hell did that piece go? I can barely see in this fog and dark. So let's have a sleep. Let's hope for better weather tomorrow morning. I think things are coming along though. It's not as difficult as I initially imagined it to be. I do want to try and get rid of the stone aesthetic poking out of the floor though, so that's definitely something that we have to try and resolve. Right, and also I placed a wooden piece and it sort of disappeared somewhere. I'm not entirely sure where exactly. I guess I need a little bit more sunlight to be able to see whether or not I've got an issue with something poking out of the walls. Let's try this again. Again, I have no idea where I've built that. That's where I want it. So we're gonna have to remove wherever I've built those 2 pieces of wood. They must be hidden away somewhere. Yeah, this looks good. This does not, so let's resolve that now. There's a bit of a risk to doing this though. So I don't know if the stone is actually propping anything up, but I am willing to take the risk. So that's where it needs to be, but what I want to do is actually use the floor to hold it up. Like that. And I'll snap to this. Like that. I think that looks good. We somehow managed to lose a bit of Grouston here. Hopefully nothing else has really crumbled. Yeah, if you're wondering why I haven't removed any of this stuff on the roof, it's because we're likely going to need it anyway to continue decorating the front. Let me double check on how things look now. Much better, much better. I should have done that way earlier. Anyway, it's done now. And I do need to just get the secret chest back into its place. Good times. Alright. So with that component resolved, I think maybe what we should work on next is getting the core wood beams in. So let's go ahead and grab some core wood. I don't think I'll need more Grouston, actually, so I'm gonna stash Grouston in. The stone I might still need, so I'll just hang on to that for a second. I sort of want things to be the same distance and follow what we've already got going on the other side, so might do some guides initially. Maybe it's better if I use the core wood beams itself. Yeah, that is actually much better. And this is 4 meters, right? Which means that, considering we're not putting a beam in the center here, it should work in our favor. Good. Alright, and just need a bit more going the other way. The problem I have with this, though, is that... Actually, hang on. That seems to maybe work out for us. I just don't want it to poke out, that's all. Though, even if it does, I guess... Maybe it is a problem, actually, because I can see it out here. Or actually, this is a different piece of wood altogether, right? I might address that later. This doesn't seem to be poking out, though. I think that might be this piece right here. So I'll try and do something about that later on. But yeah, let's continue on with what we're trying to do here. So... let's get another guiding piece in, like so. And yeah, we should be able to make this work, hopefully. Yeah, this is definitely going to be poking out, so what I might want to do is, again, use some normal wood, and we'll guide the starting point from the other end. Like that. And we might need to do something similar on this side as well. Might actually need a couple of the guiding pieces, like so. Okay, that looks good. Do I need one more piece on the very end? I mean, it's not like entirely necessary. Yeah, I think that's probably just going to poke out, if anything, so maybe we don't need to worry about that. So looking good, and things are around the same height as the other beams. Probably don't need this anymore, so let's get rid of that. And as I mentioned before, I think we do need to address the doorway. So let's try our best here. Perfect. Let's do another meal. And I might do the doorway leading into the kitchen. Didn't I just pick up some flame metal? I guess not. I do have a lot of stuff on me, don't I? I can let go of the core wood now. I don't think I really need the core wood anymore. Okay, so how do we do this? So the nice thing is we can really just snap it to the floor, and it makes sense to do that. I wonder if I should be bringing the floor out a little bit more. And I'm also sort of wondering whether or not I want the door to be on the outside or the inside. Or perhaps maybe halfway. But if I want to do it halfway, it might be a little complicated to get right. I just got an idea, guys, and this is really one of the things that I like about Ralston is by using Gralston you can sort of force a different snapping point to where things would normally go. Yeah, so you can do something like that, but that's not exactly in the right position. So we need to get the Gralston in and, or sorry, move the Gralston slightly rather. Slow. Yeah, so that's where I kind of want the Gralston to be in. And then can I now guide the floor piece in the right spot? That's kind of where I want it, but this Gralston piece seems to be a little bit offset, so I don't know if this side's the best to try and get the Gralston in. Let me just retry it. Yeah, it seems kind of difficult to get it to sit exactly where I want it to sit. Same with this one. It doesn't seem to want to sit exactly in the center. Why is that? Maybe because of that piece? I can fix that though. Okay. Now, I assume things should work. Yeah, so that is exactly centered. And so that should be able to let us snap right in the middle of where the wall is. Like so. Now we just need to replace all of the stone pieces that we've just taken down. Okay, perfect. So that looks decent. We do need to do something about the slight gaps though. I really don't like how there are gaps with this door. So how can I address that? Good question. I don't really know if that's good enough. It seems like really rough. But if I just take a look at what we've got going behind the scenes... Whoops. Not my intention. Anyway. What happens if we bring this up closer? Yeah, okay, that sort of clips through, and that's not exactly what we want either. So if we use these arches, perhaps... maybe I could freeform the position to get what I want. And then we can cover things up, you know, with the stone pieces anyway. Might not be a bad idea. And at the very least, we just test that out and see how we feel. But I might play around with building something bespoke like we did for the balcony. Yeah, because we've got a similar problem going on with the balcony, if I'm not mistaken. That doesn't look half bad, actually. I could live with that. Before it gets really, really dark, I just want to check on how we did the balcony again. Alright, so there are... ashwood pieces here. Maybe that's the answer. We just get some more ashwood in there. Which I don't really have any ashwood on me at the moment, but let's grab a little bit. I assume maybe 10 might be enough. Yeah, it's only 2 each. Gonna have a sleep right now, because there's no use in continuing while it's dark. You know, I haven't exactly done too much aside from doing all of the building this episode, so let me just take a quick breather and perhaps take a look at what there is to do here in the farm. Plenty of eggs, but not a lot of chooks though. And I do recall us having issues with chook meat, so it might be a good idea to try and hatch a few of these at the very least. Okay, I did not mean to do that. These chooks are really strong because they can push us around. Let's turn that on. So that's 1, 2, and I think we have 3 at the very least. 3 eggs warming up. So we should have quite a few of these hens very soon. Perhaps maybe we want to go with like a couple more, to be honest, because I think they only really give us like one egg each, right? Or sorry, one batch of meat each. Don't want to give them onion seeds. We'll need all of the onion seeds we can get at this point. Let's do a batch of 20 carrot seeds. I don't know if the chickens actually need like food to grow into mature adult hens. Possibly. This really looks nice. It's it almost feels like a bit of a pity if I had to take it back down. If anything, I do want to try changing the snapping point to the other side and seeing if that resolves our gap here, which it doesn't, I don't think. So that gap is really going to stress me out, to be honest. I'm really annoyed that sometimes we have these sorts of issues to contend with. Yeah, see? Even if I rotate, I think I'm still going to have the issue with this gap being there. We could do something like that, just to plug the gap a little bit. I don't think that's such a bad idea. But yeah, let's try and take these down, and let's see what we can do with adding the arches, and seeing how we feel about that. I don't mind the stone look, actually. But you never know, the arches could look even better. Yeah, so that's what it would look like if we used arches. I mean, the ashwood arches. Not bad, but I think the stone look actually wins out, guys. So, I know I'm doing a lot of testing here, but I need to sort of know what I want to land on. And I think it makes sense to keep the stone look. So yeah, let's try our best to get exactly what we had before back in. And I will be content with that. There is a slight gap, isn't there? Possibly something we will have to live with. Or I could add the ashwood to plug it up. Oh, actually, no, we won't have to do that because we're putting stone in anyway. Yes, that's right, I forgot about the stone. Yeah, this is the problem with freeforming. Getting the exact position right can be quite a challenge. I'm not sure if this is correct, but I think maybe we can judge it after we place more stone back. Still getting those gaps, aren't we? I think it needs to be a little closer, especially on this side. Let's try that once more. Bottom edge, maybe changing the snapping point might help us a little bit. Nope. Nope. I feel like we managed to get things looking very symmetrical last time. Which is what I'm trying to aim for this time around as well. Yeah, it looks good. I know we can see a bit of clipping here, but I think once we decorate a little bit more, and we have a few more embellishments, like arches and stuff like that, I think it'll start looking pretty nice, and we'll be able to cover some of those horrible looking details up. And yeah, this looks pretty good. I can even maybe add an additional piece of ash wood just on top of this pole here, just for good measure, and that should actually cover things up quite a bit. Do I even need that? There's a small gap there. And I don't really think that's anything we can do, or anything we can sort of like fix by doing anything with the stone, to be honest. Do I add more ash wood on the sides? It might make sense to do so, just to have things match a little bit. Gonna need a little bit more ash wood though. Alright, coming along quite well. Let's get that in there, and a 2x1 up there, and one more 1x1. Perfect. Alright. Just re-inspecting everything, making sure that we're happy. I'm sort of thinking, would it be cool to have like one of these for the kitchen? Maybe not. Maybe not. I would like to add some stairs though. That should just make things a lot easier for us to sort of get in and out. So a couple of stairs going in there. That really should finish up the plan for the structure at the very least. We might need to flatten out a little bit more of the soil in this area, and obviously we need to rethink the staircase. But I think the next thing is to perhaps think about where we want all of our things to be stored. So we'll have the edges of the structure to work with, but with it being curved, that might actually complicate, you know, building bespoke pieces of furniture. We could perhaps maybe utilize this section here where the wall is still sort of a little bit flat and straight. So we could do it on either side. And yeah, I'm sort of thinking of the other corners and stuff, but maybe we won't really be able to utilize any of these corners because of the Growston being in place. Unless, I'm thinking, if we rearrange the kitchen a little bit, like the food prep table, we could perhaps maybe put on a 90-degree angle over this side, and you know, that'll essentially be our kitchen area. We're still 4 minutes on the last Ashlands gourmet bowl there, but I'll have the last batch anyway. And I suppose I do need to clear out the table, so let's do that. Don't really have a lot of space remaining though. I'll throw all of these things into storage. And I need to get rid of that. I think I'll put the Horn of Celebration here. I just need to try and remember that it's there. Oh yes, platters. Let's get rid of it. I think I'm gonna leave fine wood and nails down here, and we'll come back to them once we're ready for them. Alright, so I'm really liking how much space we've got in the kitchen now. I'm just trying to think about what I should work on next, whether or not I need to put the tables down first, maybe do the decorating for this wall here where the entrance is, or if I should do the bespoke furniture first. But I think maybe doing the decorating is maybe the first thing we should do. And then we also need to decide how much light we need in here, so we'll probably need, like, I don't know how many more Virgil lanterns, maybe another 2? I like the idea of having that Virgil lantern over there, though having a Virgil lantern right above us is not a bad idea either, so we could have one facing that way, one facing that way. But yeah, once the decorations are done, I think we can then place the furniture down, and that should inform us of how much space we have to work with to decide where we're going to keep all of our stuff, essentially. But I'm almost feeling like there's almost no choice here except for this wall and this one. Unless... I'm just sort of thinking out loud here. We could semi-divide the space by having our prep table. If I just sort of quickly sort of set things up just to give you guys an idea of what I'm thinking here, but I guess it doesn't really matter which way. But if initially I was sort of thinking I could put the prep table there, but what we could do is we could put the prep table sort of more in the middle, maybe even in the middle proper, like right here for instance, and then we could have bespoke pieces of furniture in these two. Oh no, it's Brenna. What else do we want to eat? Scorching Medley sounds pretty good. Yeah, let's deal with this attack. Yeah, it's been a while since we've seen an attack, to be honest. I was sort of expecting an attack to happen sometime soon. What up? I don't really see too many enemies though, which worries me a little bit. I want them to all bunch up as much as possible. There could be a few enemies on the other side of the property, so I'm gonna see if I can fetch them. We've got railings out here, which means that we're still relatively safe. Alright, good stuff. Luckily it wasn't any real difficult attack. I think the attacks that I really hate the most would have to be attacks by flying enemies, because they can just simply bypass all of your defenses. But anyway guys, I think this is where we're gonna call it. I did say, as I was sort of being attacked there, maybe we could put the chests over here and stack chests, you know, too high, and then maybe we could have the pantry chest sort of sitting behind the prep table, and that way we can design another bespoke piece of furniture for that as well, and have a couple of them stacked on top of each other, and then this will be sort of our big dining area. Anyway, that's the idea. I don't know if it will go well or not, but we shall see. Signing out here, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. Chuck us a like if you did. Chuck me some comments as well if you want to get in touch. Otherwise, stay true, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.